This week's edition of Church Media Design TV is sponsored by Print Management Solutions. Welcome to another edition of Church Media Design TV, tips, tricks, and how-to for you, the church media designer. I'm your host, Brad Zimmerman, and I am joined every week by my favorite bobbleheaded friends. You got it right. We got Adam and Jamie from the Mythbusters. Yep, it's my birthday soon, and I got new bobbleheads, and I'm pretty excited about that. We also got Dwight Schrute from The Office, which was decapitated in a CMD show accident and has been brought back to life. Not by bobblehead Jesus, but by Gorilla Glue, because we're not sacrilegious here. We also got Little Whitey, and of course, Jesus Christ, the Son of the Lord Most High. Well, on this week's edition, we're going to talk about some creative multicam editing inside Adobe Premiere, as well as we got some interesting news from Adobe and a bunch of great resources for you. So we got a whole lot going on today. So if my bobbleheaded friends are ready, let's get into it. Well, this week's news is some interesting news. If you do any sort of Flash development, or if you absolutely hate Flash but secretly love it, I think you're going to like this news. I actually was a Flash developer, did a lot of web design inside Flash. A lot of people out there hate Flash because it doesn't work on mobile devices like the iPhone and the iPad. Well, Adobe's been getting a lot of flack for this, and Adobe and Apple hate each other these days, and so Adobe's trying to make it right with their customers and try to figure out how to continue making Flash an important part of the industry without sacrificing what they think is the best platform, which happens to be Adobe Air and some other things. Well, the new tool that they just came out with is a Flash to HTML5 conversion tool. Mashable.com has a story all about it, and it's pretty interesting. This guy looks like he's from Star Trek, which is even more interesting. But this is a shot on somebody's camera from a demo of how this works, and basically it's this video of, or this Flash animation, it's the side-scrolling animation with animated masks and some text coming on the screen and all this kind of stuff, and they run it through their conversion tool and it converts it all to HTML5. So it's using the canvas, it's using JavaScript, it's using CSS, all of this stuff to totally replicate this exact same animation. So now this animation is viewable on an iPad or an iPhone, any sort of mobile device, as well as Safari and any other program that doesn't like Flash. So it's really interesting that they're coming out with this and that Adobe's taking on and saying, you know, we still think Flash is a great way to develop this, but maybe you want to push it in a different way. And so now they're allowing you to convert that over. So it's really interesting to see that Adobe's doing this. So stick tuned to what's going on with this, and you can find out more over at the what is this, John Knock on Adobe website. He posted something all about this, and actually has the sneak peeks, and this is from the Max 2010 conference, so you can check all of that stuff out on that website, and make sure to stay tuned and see what this might come out for you guys here in the future. Well, let's reach into the stockpile and grab some great resources for you and your church. And the first one is some free stock footage. Andrew Kramer over at videocopilot.net, which if you haven't heard of the website, you need to go check it out. Tons of great After Effects tutorials. If you're looking at getting started in After Effects, go to videocopilot.net/basic, and you'll find all sorts of great tutorials on there on getting started in After Effects. But he's got tons of tutorials as well as a bunch of products, and because he loves his viewers so much, which he has hundreds of thousands of people watching his tutorials, and actually if you go watch his tutorials and then go to Worship House Media or revostock.com, you'll see a whole bunch of people that rip off his tutorials and sell them, which is really sad. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about his free stock footage appreciation day, where he's giving away a random collection of 20 stock elements, from textures to, you know, all sorts of explosions scans and time-lapse clouds and all sorts of stuff. So it's a free $100 pack, and you can see the sample video here. So check that out and go download that, because there's no reason not to. It's some free stuff for you. The next site is actually another Flash church content management system. Many of you guys have heard about Clover sites. Well, there is now another competitor in the ring, and it's called Bridge Element. Now, this again is, Flash websites that you can edit all the stuff in the site. It outputs an HTML site, so it still works on iPhones and all of that kind of stuff. And you can find out more at their website and, demo all their sites and see what they're up to. Well, John over at Church Crunch posted about this new site and said, we have some competition in the industry, and that's always good. Well, he followed it up because Bridge Element followed it up and said, here's the 12 key differences between us and Clover and why you should check us out, let alone the price. Here's some other things. So there's a list of different things you can do, like you have email accounts, unlimited hosting, customization. They have a print company associated with them. You can do photo galleries. They have a staff page and contact forms. You can do more with their text editor and that kind of stuff, and it'll be interesting to see what Clover has to say and see if they agree with it. But make sure to check out Bridge Element if you're looking at that sort of site for your church. Now, the next site actually is another website for churches, and this is a WordPress site for churches, and this is from ChurchThemer, which is a new site, and they just launched their first theme, which is called, I think, Moses, and you can check it out here, and it's a generic church theme, so it's got great stuff in here like upcoming events and news and announcements. It's got a nice slider here, and you can go to, all the different ministry areas. So let's check out the kids ministry page, and you can leave comments. And so it's all utilizing WordPress, which is a free content management system, and this is just a theme to use in that content management system. Now, our last resource today is from Smashing Apps, and I think this is a really interesting one. If you're trying to build a new church brand or your own brand for your portfolio or something like that, and you want to check, well, how is this taken on Twitter or Facebook? Is there a website for it? This is a bunch of different sites that help you check it all in one place. So you just type in the name of what you have. So we have name checklist, name check, Noam, ud.com, and user check. So let's just go to username check, and we'll check this one out. Oops. Here we go. So username check, I'm just going to do CMD.tv, and you'll be able to see how this works. So it's checking the top 20, and you can immediately see that it doesn't exist on Picasa, Facebook, or Twitter, but the Blogger one is locked. Tumblr I could still get, Dig is gone, TwitPic is probably taken, I could get Dailymotion or WordPress.org or DeviantArt. So these are all places that I still probably, now that I know that this is my brand, I should probably go get those there. But if I was going to maybe start something called, Element Church, I could search for this and see that see if this is available on any of these other networks. And so it'll go through and say, man, it's not available on any of these places, basically, except Dig and Wikipedia. So Wikipedia is not there. So this is a great place to check all your brand information out. So check that out at Smashing Apps. You can check out ChurchThemer for that new church theme, Bridge Elements, and of course all that stock footage from videocopilot.net. Well, before we move on, let's say thank you to our sponsor of Print Management Solutions. You can check out their brand new website over at printmanagementsolutions.biz, and you can find the solution to all of your print needs there. You can also find out customer testimonials and how other people are using this service. As well as I want to point out their end-of-year promotions. There's two different promotions there, one of which you'll get a free color printer, and the other one you're going to get 3 cents per color page, which is an awesome deal if you've ever dealt with with that, and both of those include all of your print management, so all of your ink and toner, all of your service is all included, all inside that package. And if you want to sign up, make sure to head over to the contact page, fill out the information, and make sure to put Church Media Design in the promo code to let them know you found out through us. So sign up today and check out printmanagementsolutions.biz. Well, this week we're talking about multicam editing inside Adobe Premiere. Now, you can also do this inside Final Cut, and I'm sure you can do it in Avid. I doubt you can do it in Sony Vegas, but maybe you can. You can't do it in iMovie, I can promise you that. Yeah, it's just not high enough of a program. But the reason I'm doing stuff in Adobe's products again is you can head over to a website like CDW.com. You can get the nonprofit version of the Creative Suite for between $500 and $700, almost $1,000 or over $1,000 off the retail price. You're going to get a ton of great programs that are going to work so well in your creative workflow at your church, and it's going to last you a long time. So I'd highly suggest checking that out, and you can't get a better deal on it. And it's cross-platform, works on Mac and PC, so you can get it for both and trade files in the office between different computers, all of that stuff. So there's my spiel on why I like Adobe's stuff. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to see a creative way to use multicam editing. The basic idea of multicam editing is this. We go on a Sunday morning or we go to an event and we have multiple cameras shooting this event. So we got one guy who's doing crowd shots, we got another person that's on the stage, we got another person who's doing close-ups, and we take all these things together and edit them together. But we don't want to go through and say, oh, I want this clip and then this clip and then this clip. I want to go through and just be able to do like they do for television and see it like all of the cameras are running at the same time, and I just get to pick and choose which one I go to as it's rolling through in real time. It makes it a lot more fluid, and it's cut a lot more like a TV show would be, or a newscast, or a live concert, something like that. Many of you see this at churches that do iMeg. You know, this is the same kind of setup that they're doing live, but we're going to do this in post. And it has a lot of pros and cons and some different things along the way. So let's jump inside Premiere. So as you can see here, I have one clip, and what you want to do is actually get the rough timeline done. So I'm actually going to grab this other clip of the bobbleheads here, and I'm going to unlink it just like we did last week. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to do unlink. I'm just going to grab this one clip here, and then I'm going to go find the spot where I talk about the bobbleheads. So Church Media Designer. I'm your host, Brad Zimmerman, and I am joined every week by my favorite bobbleheaded friends. So right here's where I say my favorite bobbleheaded friends, and we'll bring in the bobblehead clip here. We got Fred Flintstone, Little Whitey, the miniature version of me. We got Colonel Sanders, and of course, Jesus Christ, the Son of the Lord Most High. So there's Jesus Christ, the Son of the Lord Most High. So now I'm going to bring this in, and I'm just going to drop that in there and make a full-on edit cut there. And then I'm just going to cut out the beginning here as well. So here's our rough edit, and I'll just delete these two things and do a quick ripple delete. So I'm just going to right click in between, ripple delete, and there's our timeline. So now we have these two edits in here. So now I'm going to take these three pieces of footage, and I'm just going to do a copy and paste. So I'm going to paste this into video track 2, and then I'm going to paste this into video track 3. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do some zoom cuts on this. So I'm going to take my first layer 3 here. I'm going to go to effects controls, and I'm going to go to motion here. I'm going to put this all the way up to 200%. And I'm just going to grab this footage and move it to what I would want my second angle to look like. So this will be a close-up headshot here. And then I'm going to go and do that exact same motion. So I'm just going to copy this motion here. So I'm just going to do Control-C as I have motion selected. Click on this clip and hit paste, and you'll see it's pasted that in there. So I'm going to uncheck the eyeball and lock this so that I don't accidentally touch it while I'm working on my next clip. So this one we're going to go in and we're going to do a scale of 150, and I'm going to take this guy and, you know, maybe put him like this. So that's my secondary clip. And again, we're going to copy and paste this. And you'll see that we have both of our, oops, copy this motion. I don't know why I didn't copy, and paste it. There we go. So now that's there. But again, we have the bobblehead shot here, and maybe I want a different bobblehead shot. So let's go back to our first one. And on this one, we're gonna do a zoom at, so position, let's scale this up to 200%. And let's do a 2-shot of Fred and little Whitey. Maybe we need to even go higher than 200. Let's go to 220, and that'll get rid of Colonel Sanders. So we have those two in this one. And then now in this other one, let's lock and turn off that one. And this one, we'll do this at 220. And we'll do this one of Colonel Sanders and Jesus. And then we will unlock and turn on all of our different clips. So in our video 3 is our headshot, and our 2-shot of Fred and little Whitey. And then video 2 is a medium shot and Colonel Sanders and Jesus. And then our video 1 is our master. These are our, that'll be the close-up, but these are all of our wide shots. So now that we have all of those clips kind of positioned and we've made our multiple different shots, we can now go through and edit this together. So what I need to do is I need to go back to my project panel. I'm just gonna right-click and do a new item of a sequence. I'm just gonna call this my master sequence. Then I'm gonna drop sequence 1 into my master sequence. I'm gonna right-click on this clip, and I'm gonna go down to multi-camera and do enable. You can also go to clip and go down to multicam and hit enable. So now we've enabled multicam editing for this one clip. So now all we have to do is go to window and multicam monitor, and what you'll see here is we have all of our different clips. So now all we have to do is sit and watch and listen and cut the video. So we have a couple different play controls here. We have our regular play controls, plus we have a record button. So the record button is what actually records your actions. If not, you could just play and kind of click through, but you can see it's automatically hit the record button for us. So I'm just gonna undo that. So now let's hit record and play and go through this. The tips, tricks, and how-to for you, the church media designer. I'm your host, Brad Zimmerman, and I am joined every week by my favorite bobbleheaded friends. We got Fred Flintstone, Little Whitey, the miniature version of me. We got Colonel Sanders, and of course, Jesus Christ, the Son of the Lord Most High. Well, I say this every once in a while. I just want to make sure you guys know that I'm not racist, and my bobblehead is called Little Whitey because my nickname sometimes is Whitey. So as you can see, I can quickly and easily go through and just make all of those cuts. And what you'll see here at the end is that now that I've clicked stop, I can actually close this panel out. And if we go back to our main timeline, it's thrown all of these cuts in. So I can just go through and hit play, and it's gonna quickly jump between all of these different pieces. And you can actually go in and sure up some of these edits. So maybe we want these a little bit different. So we want this one to not be until right here. So I'm just gonna pull this back and pull this one over. And you'll see we have, bam. And we have some little weird things going on. And you'll have to just get good at knowing when to edit when you have the edits already happening. But you can see how so quickly I can take one camera and make it look like 3. So really interesting, really easy way to do all of this stuff. It doesn't translate super well into After Effects, but it does translate if you would want to import that into After Effects. But you can do this inside Final Cut, and you could get away with doing a 2-camera shoot and ending up to have 4 to 6 or 8 shots just from those 2 cameras. So you got to think creatively when you're doing this, and it makes it a really easy way to edit along the way. So check out Multicam Editing inside Adobe Premiere. Well, this week's inspiration, well, It actually is that time of year again. It's the time of year that green label art is coming out into the wild. Green label art is something done by Mountain Dew, which if you don't know me very well, I love Mountain Dew. I drink it all the time. I'm basically addicted to it, and I don't care because it tastes wonderful. But green label art is they get designers to design bottles, and in the past they've done tall metal cans or metal bottles, aluminum bottles. But this time, a skater in conjunction with green label art have did a contest with skate shops around the country. There's actually a skate shop right near my house in Grand Rapids that did a can design, but they've actually already chosen the finalist. But there's a video done for the inspiration for the whole green label art campaign and all that kind of stuff, and I think it's a really subtle done 3D inside this skate video. It's not way over crazy animation. It's done by Shiloh, which is an awesome studio. You can check them out at their website. They got tons of great stuff there. But check out this video and make sure to check out greenlabelart.com.
I skate the streets of LA all the time, and everywhere I go, I see my inspiration come to life. I put it all into my new collaboration with Don Pendleton. We just designed a brand new can for Mountain Dew and inspired 35 shops across the country to create their own. Only one can will hit stores nationwide. Vote for your favorite at greenlabelart.com.
Well, this week's freebie is a game that you can do in your youth ministry, or you could do it on Sunday morning, but that would be a little bit weird. But it's some art for a game. It's called Balloon Mayhem. I did some colorization on the balloon and, you know, stylized the text. It's pretty simple, but I like to have art that goes along with my games. Balloon Mayhem, all you do is, you know, tie a piece of string to a balloon, tie it to your ankle, and then have everybody run around, and whoever's the last man standing with their balloon not popped wins. So super easy game, but some free art to go along with it. And maybe you want to do a series called Up in the Air, and you just change the Balloon Mayhem text to Up in the Air, because I'll include an editable Photoshop document as well as widescreen and full screen stills that you can use. So check that out on the website, and you can download that one today. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Church Media Design TV. If you guys have any questions or comments, or you have a creative way that you've used multicam editing, I'd love to hear about it or see it. You can shoot me an email, brad@ChurchMediaDesign.tv. You can also find me twitter.com/CMDTV, facebook.com/CMDTV. Also, if you want to share videos of inspiration or something like that, hit me up on Vimeo, vimeo.com/CMDTV, and I'll follow you back and see all the videos that you're liking and favoriting on there, and you can shoot me messages through there as well. So check me out in all of those places, and of course check out the show notes, cmd.tv/116. You can find all of the show notes and information there. So as for me and my favorite bobbleheaded friends, we're saying see you later.